नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna. Welcome to our sessions on Bhagavad Gita. We are trying to learn some lessons, some important lessons which are based on Bhagavad Gita. And as far as I know till now, we have already learned a few lessons, like we first learned about perplexities, how to face reversals in life, and what kind of responses we can have. Then we also discussed about focusing on work, not just the result. And last Sunday, we discussed on staying calm in success and failure and to be a leader through example. So these are some of the lessons which we have learned. Very soon we will be starting discussion on the verses of Bhagavad Gita, where some of you who have the inclination can also learn and memorize these verses. These are very nice verses to recite. Actually, it's enjoyable to recite these verses. Like in the second chapter, Arjuna says, Karpanya doshopahata svabhava pritchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yat shreyasyanishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapanna. So he says that, okay, till now we were friends. Arjuna and Krishna were friends. So now Arjuna says that now we are changing this relationship. I am changing this relationship. I am becoming your disciple. I need your guidance. So please guide me. What is good for me? Because I have become very weak. Karpanya doshupahta subhava. So that's how Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita. So here, actually, with this verse, we learn a very, very important lesson, which is a major theme of Bhagavad Gita. And that lesson is that in our life, if we have to progress or achieve success, then we need to accept guidance, which is very, very important. So, accepting guidance is another lesson which we learn through Arjuna, how he accepted Krishna. And not only that, Krishna also speaks about it in the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that you need to have the guidance. So, why do we need guidance? Are we not intelligent enough to know the things of this world? Are we not intelligent enough to manage our life? Why do we need guidance? We definitely need guidance, although we are very intelligent and we are able to understand things in general, but to evolve to a higher level of development, we definitely need guidance. We need mentorship. We need someone who can instruct us, someone who knows the higher truths. So to evolve to a higher level of development, we definitely need guidance. Another reason we need guidance or mentorship is to answer some of the questions we may have. Like when we look up to the stars in the sky, what comes to our mind? What are these? Are these sums? Like even science was bewildered earlier. They didn't know what are these stars. So slowly, slowly, they kept changing their statements and then came. So now also we want to know what are these? Are they people? Are they planets? Are they just some light bulbs planted by the Lord, or what is it? So some of the questions where we don't get answer. Not only these, what happens with us in our life? Sometimes we are very good with people, but then people come and do something wrong with us. We want to remain good with everyone, but then there are insults thrown at us. There are problems, challenges thrown at us. So we question, why me? I'm trying to be so good with people. Why people do not understand? Most of the time, this is our question, why I'm not being understood. So many other questions of life which we may have, that needs to be answered. And for that, we need guidance. At the same time, we need an example of what we want to be. Suppose we have heard about spirituality, but just by hearing about spirituality, we don't get enough inspiration to go and find the path, to go and find the destination. We need some examples right in front of us. So they may inspire us to go for progress in spiritual life or any other. At the same time, when we are talking of God, Supreme Personality, very difficult for us to approach Him directly. Well, some people can say, yes, why not? We can just go to Lord and He's like our Father, we can talk to Him. Yes, but God is on a very, very pure level. So to reach that level, we need guidance. We need someone who can hold on to our hand and take us to the Supreme Lord, because we do not know about Him. We do not know His address. We do not know how He behaves. We do not know what we are supposed to do with Him. So we need guidance in this matter also. At the same time, it is the verdict of the Vedic scriptures that to understand Vedic knowledge and to realize the truth, one must approach a spiritual master. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 34th verse, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So Krishna is saying here that please approach a person, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. How to approach a person, whom to approach? A person who has seen the truth, person who's tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshi means who has seen the truth, who knows who's God, who knows how to approach God, who knows how to get the answer for all the questions what we have in our life. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So here the qualification of a person who can guide us is given, and qualification of a person who is going to accept the guidance is also given. We will come to it shortly. Other places in the scriptures also says that tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva bhigachet samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. In order to learn the transcendental science, one must approach the bona fide spiritual master in disciplic succession. So, various other places we find about taking the guidance, accepting the guidance. Srila Prabhupada says only by following the instruction of such a bona fide spiritual master can one solve the problems of material existence and attain pure devotion to Lord Krishna. So, to emphasize this point, that it is so important to accept a guide, a mentor, Krishna himself, when he came into this world, he descended into this world, he also accepted a guide. Though he is Supreme Lord, he doesn't need guide. He doesn't need mentorship. He doesn't need to be a disciple because he is the supreme spiritual master. But just to set an example, this is a very important thing which we see even in Bhagavad Gita and other places, that Krishna is saying that if you are on a higher position, you should set good examples for others. Like we all in our society, we must be definitely um, in a good position, in a position where we can influence the lives of others, then we should set a very good example. It is an important thing because example setting, if you do it nicely, then the coming generation, next generations, they also get inspired. So that is why it is important for all of us to set good example, like Krishna himself is setting good example by accepting a spiritual master. So it is a very important thing. As I said, Krishna is emphasizing on this, and that is why we should very, very carefully choose a person who can guide us in our life. Now, sometimes we get bewildered, or sometimes I should say, we are cheated by those who are not a proper spiritual person, or proper guide, or a proper mentor. So, who is not a spiritual guide? First, let's hear that. Then we will come to the point whom should we accept as a spiritual guide. Now, there are many people who charge you heavy fees to give some secret mantras by which you can become God, by which you can become successful, by which you can become influential, powerful. And these are the words which are very, very attractive to all of us: influential, powerful, successful. So then we go to such people who charge heavy fees, and then we think that we can get some mantra, and then we will be very, very successful. I'll tell you, I was in a country, I was in a city in Kenya. So it's a small city, and we were having programs, and so there was a local lady who had her own restaurant. So she wanted us to come to the restaurant, and I was surprised. I told her we don't eat, etc. in the restaurant, so what will I do? And it was like a restaurant selling all veg, non-veg, etc. But she insisted, no, no, please come. I want all my staff. I'll call. You can address them, etc. So we just went. So we were there, and we did some program. We did some, talk. They were very happy. So when I was leaving, and I told her, okay, thank you very much for inviting us, and we're leaving. So she came up to me and she said, "Are you not going to give me something?" Then I said, I thought, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get a gift for her. I should have brought some pictures, some photo of Lord or something. So I felt very bad. And when she asked like that, are you not going to give me anything? So I then apologized. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't get a gift for you. I mean, I was not aware that can we place it here or something like that. So I'm sorry about it. She said, no, 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 I'm not asking that. So I said, then what are you asking? She said, you may be having some kind of stone or something which I can keep it in my cash box so that, my wealth goes on increasing. And I was thinking, I wish I had something like that. I would have kept in the temple. So I told her, no, I'm sorry, I don't have such. She said, no, no, I've heard you Indians, you have something like this, and you can please give me. I said, okay, I'll try getting it for you, because I didn't want her to get disheartened. I said, okay, wait, try getting for you. But as far as I know, I don't have anything. I haven't seen anything like that. So most of the time, people want that we should get a person who can even charge fee, no problem, but he should give us something. These are all false promises. What we get in our life depends on the karma, depends on the activities which we have performed. We will be discussing, this is a major theme of Bhagavad Gita when we come to it. So we should not accept a person like that. Next is a person who teaches some kind of yoga, simple gymnastic, etc., uh, but not connecting to God. Or these are the people who defy the Vedic version and declare that I am God. There are so many people who declare like that, and they become God. People accept them. They teach something, and they feel ki, yes, yes, this is what life is. This is what spirituality is for me. Please understand, spirituality doesn't need all this show off. Spirituality doesn't need a lot of money. Spirituality doesn't need some miracles. What spirituality needs is a simple heart in which we can accept the Supreme Lord. That is how the spirituality begins. So here, these kind of people, they cheat people. Srila Prabhupada was very much against these people who were cheaters, who were misguiding people, saying that I can give you the path by which you will get a lot of money, by which you will get success, you will get fame. But that's not the whole idea of spirituality. So we should approach a person who is a real guide. Now, who can be a real guide? First of all, he should be well versed in the Vedic scriptures and he should follow the principles. Not that he's just well versed in Vedic scripture, but he himself doesn't follow. So he should be a well versed person in the Vedic scripture and follow their principles, because Vedic scriptures are like manual of life. If a person is expert in that, well versed in that, he can guide us in any field of life. So that is why the first quality of a person who can become a guide is he should be well versed with the scripture. At the same time, he should identify himself as a humble servant of God, never claim to be God. So those people who claim themselves to be God actually are cheaters, because an ordinary person can never become God. God is God. God is not a post. Please understand that today someone else is occupying that post, and then after certain millions of years I will occupy the post. No, God is not a post. God is a person. So that's why a humble servant of God will be the right guide for us. He should act with full control of his senses and never fall under their control. That is also. And he should be fully dedicated to serving God with body, mind, and words. Why? Because then he will have no hidden motive. He will not guide you because he needs a lot of followers. He will not guide you because he needs your money. He will not guide you because he is expecting certain favors from you. He is dedicated to God with body, mind, and word. So he is guiding you only for your success. He is guiding you so that you can attain the purpose of this human life. He is guiding you because he feels it is his duty, what he has received, to give it to the world. So that is why such a person should be taken as a guide. At the same time, there are some qualifications of a person who receives guidance. We are talking about the person who gives guidance, but then we should also know how to receive guidance. Accept guidance is a very important lesson which we are learning, because this one can change our life. If you have a person who can guide you nicely, if you have a person who can guide you without any hidden motive, if you have a person who can guide you to become a successful person by achieving the real goal of your life, then you're very, very fortunate. This fortune comes to very few people, very rare people. That is why in this world you'll find so many people guiding, but most of them have their hidden motive behind. Either they want to earn money, or they want to earn fame, or they want followers, or they want some other favors. Very few you will find who will guide you without expectation. So, what are the qualifications of a person who receives guidance? He should be very humble. Arrogance is a major obstacle in receiving knowledge. Even when you go to school, when you go to university, when you are receiving knowledge, if you're arrogant, you cannot receive knowledge. In the modern world, this being humble is nowadays very rare because of the wrong conception of being humble. People think being humble means being weak. So we should be strong. We should be arrogant. No, being humble doesn't mean being weak. Being humble means being firm on your principles. It is not being weak. Being humble means appreciating others. That is the meaning of humble. Being humble means firm on your ground, firm on your principles. Being humble means be appreciating others. Being humble means coming into the position that you need knowledge. That means you accept that I am in need of knowledge. And that is how a person becomes humble and surrender. Surrender also has various meanings. When we talk of surrender, we get scared because surrender is sometimes symptom of defeat. But surrender in devotional service is surrender out of love. So when you are humble and surrender means you are ready to accept the guidance given by the person whom you have accepted as your guide, as your mentor, as your guru. So you're ready for it. And in a very humble way you approach, not in an arrogant way. Oh, you have to teach me. I have come to you. I, who am such a great person, I have come to you. You'll have to teach me. No, we go in a very humble mood. Like one time a student went to the teacher and he said, I would like to know about the Supreme Personality, about God. Please teach me. So then the teacher started teaching him, telling him something. Whatever he was saying, the disciple, the student was saying, oh, sir, I know this. Tell me something else. And then he again told something, sir, I know this. Tell me something else. Now, after 2, 3 times when he said this, the teacher went inside and brought a jar full of milk and a glass, empty glass, kept the glass in front of him, started pouring the milk. So glass was half full, almost full. So as about the milk was about to spill off, then the student said, wait, 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 what are you doing? Can't you see the glass is full? The teacher said, I'm also trying to explain you the same thing. You have come to accept knowledge from me, but your glass is full. What does that mean? That means when we are not humble, when we are very arrogant, thinking that I know everything, you cannot get the knowledge. So when you approach a spiritual master, you should approach with an empty glass. Not literally, of course. Empty glass means go with an humble attitude that, yes, I do not know anything. You can teach me. That's how the knowledge will be transferred. Another quality when we go to the spiritual master, what we should do is a submissive inquiry. We should inquire. Submissive inquiry means not in a challenging way. How can you say this? No, in a very humble way that whatever you said, wonderful, but I did not understand somehow. Please, can you explain me further? This is called submissive inquiry. So inquiry should be very submissive. At the same time, we should approach as in a very proper mood of service. So this is explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Tad vidhi pranipatena. Pranipatena means humble. Pariprashnena means inquiry. And sevaya, service attitude. So these are the qualification of a disciple. At the same time, he should have the faith in spiritual master. If you are taking guidance from a person and you don't have faith, what is the point in taking such guidance? then you'll always be thinking, oh, he told me this. Was it right? Was it correct? I think, no, 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 this must be like this. Let me try this. We should have faith. That is why we should be very careful before you choose a spiritual master or a guide for your life. But when you choose and when you take knowledge, what is the result of the proper guidance in spiritual life? Our material problems are solved because we are not able to solve the material problems. But then when we take guidance, many of our material problems are solved. Consciousness get evolved. The confusion, the illusion which we had is removed. And of course, we go ahead on the path of self-realization. And ultimately, we attain the perfection of life. So this is a very, very important step, I should say, in our life for achieving real success, for understanding what is real success. Many a times, out of ego, out of our weakness of the heart, out of to avoid embarrassing situation, we do not approach a right person. We think we don't need any guidance. But please understand, without guidance, it is impossible for you to progress in spiritual life or even in material life. It is not possible that we achieve some kind of success without guidance. Say, suppose you want to start a business. You need some guidance, somebody who's into that business, you'll go to him and he'll guide you, okay, do this, do that. So everywhere we need guidance. And that's why we need guidance in spiritual life also. So this is in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna surrenders and becomes the disciple from a friend. Arjuna was very much perplexed. Arjuna was confused. Not only that, he was badly pained. He was just thinking, I should just run away from here. And he tells Krishna that, Krishna, instead of fighting, I can go, I can become a beggar. Just imagine who's telling the Arjuna, the most powerful warrior on earth at that time. He says, I'm ready to become a beggar. Why? Because I can't tolerate this. Suppose Krishna would have said, okay, go and become beggar. Krishna would have accepted. Then what would have happened? Um, Sometimes I say, just imagine if Arjuna has become a beggar and he's begging, you know, and then in the evening, there is another powerful beggar comes and he starts fighting, and Arjuna says, hey, I'm Arjuna, don't you know? And then Arjuna also starts fighting, and Krishna appears. And Krishna says, why are you fighting with beggars? Come and fight on the battlefield. You are a Kshatriya. So Arjuna was so hurt, he was so confused, he was so pained, he didn't know what to do. He lost all composure. And that is the time when he approached Krishna and made him his guide. In our lives, we don't have to wait for that situation to come. That when we find no other way, we don't know what to do, how will we progress in life, how will I survive in life, don't reach up to that place before you, that point before you approach a spiritual master or before you approach a guide. It is better that we do it when we have not reached that breaking point where you will completely break down. So accept guidance, follow the guidance in your life, and definitely it's a very, very safe path for us to progress in spiritual life. So that's an important message which Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita, that we can progress in life if we have the proper guidance. Now, another very, very important message or lesson what we have from Bhagavad Gita is, as they say in the present, at that time this word was not there, but presently this word is very famous, practice mindfulness. This is also an important lesson which is given by Krishna in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is mindfulness? Uh, Many times when we talk of mindfulness, we talk of being aware, being in the moment, being mindful of what you're doing, and do it very carefully. Like even if you're eating, then you should be very careful, aware, mindful of that, and so many other things. Bhagavad Gita, when it teaches, when it speaks about mindfulness, so what is Bhagavad Gita speaking about it? What's the Bhagavad Gita's view on mindfulness? That also is an important thing for us to understand. Because Bhagavad Gita also speaks about mindfulness, but in a different way. Like in the present time, if you want to see, then mindfulness, if on a psychological, modern psychological level, if we see, mindfulness definition will be paying attention to the present moment. Bhagavad Gita says, at all times, you have to remember the Supreme Lord and align your mind, your senses, your action with Him. In the modern psychology, when you talk about mindfulness, they talk about awareness. Focus of awareness is your breathing, your body sensations, your thoughts, your emotions, your environment. Bhagavad Gita teaches you in a different way. The focus is not on all this, the focus is on the soul, which is the essence of everything. The focus is on the Supreme Soul, which is giving us everything, and the focus is on the relationship between the two. The goal of modern mindfulness is stress reduction, emotional regulations, better focus, or improved well being, etc. Whereas the goal of mindfulness of Bhagavad Gita is pure devotion, is love, or eternal loving service. So that's why when we talk about mindfulness through Bhagavad Gita, it is on a very different level. It is not some kind of just exercise, but it is a practice to what love we have in ourselves. So, as Prabhupada used to say, to revive that, to revive our consciousness of that love towards the Supreme. So, here we can understand that when we are talking of mindfulness in terms of Bhagavad Gita, basically Bhagavad Gita says that you have to control your mind. You will have the mindfulness when you will have the control on your mind. If you don't have the control on your mind, what can happen? So many things can happen without control on mind. Right? So, oh, there is a message recording. Okay, fine. I think it's going on. It's it's live on the YouTube, so recording has been done. We'll send you later. Thank you for reminding. So we were talking about mind and how to control the mind and how important it is to control the mind. That is spoken in Bhagavad Gita. So let us try to understand what Bhagavad Gita speaks of when it speaks of mindfulness. So mindfulness is spoken in terms of controlling the mind. If you are not able to control your mind, if you have an uncontrolled mind, what it can do to you is very, very risky things. Lack of confidence, loss of trust, madness, damage to oneself, family, and society. And then we have depression, stress, hypertension, dangerous diseases, weakened determination. This is all the effect of uncontrolled mind. Lack of confidence. When you don't have the control on your mind, you don't have confidence that you can do something in the life. You lose that confidence. And I'll tell you, that's a very, very dangerous situation. I met a student in one of the colleges where I visit. And the student came up to me and he said he was studying maybe MBBS, he was about to become a doctor, medical doctor, etc. And he said that, sir, from my childhood, my parents have told me that you are good for nothing. So I do not know whether I will pass this exam or no. I'm so scared. I'm afraid because I know I'm good for nothing. He had no confidence that he can do it. So that lack of confidence is when you don't have the control on mind. And many other things, many other examples we can take where you lose confidence on yourself, or you lose confidence on the process what you're following. It is very important to have confidence in life. Whatever you are doing, you should do it with confidence. And that confidence can come if we control our mind. Another thing is loss of trust. People lose trust on you if you don't have your mind under control. You may not realize what you're doing. If some task is given to you because of uncontrolled mind, you're not able to do that. People lose trust on you. And I'll tell you, in this world, to have people around you who do not trust you is not a very good situation. It is very uh, important and it is very difficult to build the trust. But once the trust is built, we should see to it that you don't lose it, you don't break it. Trust is a very important element, I should say, most important element of any relationship. So if you do not have your mind under control, the others start losing trust on you. And then, there are so many other symptoms of uncontrolled mind like depression, stress, hypertension, dangerous diseases, and then you're not determined to do anything. And what happens when you are in this situation? What actions people perform with uncontrolled mind if they want to control the mind, and they do not know what they are doing, as I said. So what actions they perform? They take up to alcohol, thinking that my mind will be under control. They take up to drugs, they take up to gambling, they pick up quarrels with people. They in fact um, go to the extent of killing someone, or raping someone, or committing suicides. So these are all actions with uncontrolled mind. So you see how important is mindfulness, which we are talking of. And in Bhagavad Gita, this is the whole chapter speaks about that how you can control your mind. Because if you have control your mind, the mind is the best of the friends. But if you don't, then it is the worst enemy. So that's why it is important that we should control mind. And Bhagavad Gita speaks of it. Like when we are talking of the body, where is the mind and what is the function of the mind? This is the whole chariot of the body. The passenger is soul, the driver is intelligence, the horses are senses, and the reins, the ropes through which the horses are controlled, is the mind. So in general, the intelligence should instruct the mind should instruct the senses, and that is how the whole system will work nicely. But what happens is that our intelligence becomes weak, and a weakened intelligence cannot control the mind. And then the mind becomes powerful, and then it controls the senses, it even controls your intelligence. And then you do all these things which we just spoke of. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to make your intelligence very strong. If you have strong intelligence, then you can control mind, and through mind you can control senses. And then the chariot of your life, chariot of your body will go in a proper direction. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to have the strong intelligence, how to make your intelligence very strong, very powerful, so that it doesn't come under the control of the mind. Because what is the role of the mind? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, very nice verse. He says, Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha Anatmanastu shatrutve vartitatmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So, this is Bhagavad Gita. So, that is why I was saying Bhagavad Gita is not just a religious book that you think, oh, only some religious rituals are given in. No, no, no. You see this? Krishna speaks about how to conquer the mind. And if you can conquer the mind becomes best of the friend. So, can the mind be our friend? Let's understand with this example. Is knife good or bad? If it is asked a question. Obviously, the answer is knife is neither good nor bad. If it is in a surgeon's hand, it can save someone's life. In a miscreant's hand, it can kill. So it is not the mind or it is not the knife that is good or bad, it is the use of it makes it good or bad. Similarly, mind can be friend, can be enemy, depending on how we use it. So we should now understand some techniques given in Bhagavad Gita for mind control. I suppose all of you want to know this, or if you feel that this is not a relevant topic, we can stop here. Uh, what is because all of you think that, okay, I already have my mind under control. I have complete control on mind. So I don't need all these things. You go and tell those who are not able to control their mind. Yes, any of you feel like that? Then you can write in chat box, I will stop discussing on controlling the mind. Because I was assuming that this is an important topic and all of us are troubled by mind. We are here sitting and then mind goes somewhere else and mind creates so many complications. So, what is the suggestion? Should I go ahead or should we go to the next topic? Okay, we have at least one person who says we can go ahead. Okay. So at least for that one person, we'll go ahead. Techniques. We should understand the techniques for mind control and how we can control the mind. It is important. So let's see what Bhagavad Gita speaks about the mind control. Bhagavad Gita says, I'm just going very briefly, not in detail, not quoting the verses, shlokas, but just giving you the essence. Bhagavad Gita says, do not allow the senses to wander, stray in any direction they want. So, this is the major problem. If you want to control the mind, you'll have to control the senses who are going in every direction. So you do not allow the senses to wander in. So what you should do, withdraw them from wrong engagement. And Bhagavad Gita gives this example of a tortoise. Have you seen a tortoise? When it sees danger, it withdraws all its senses within the shell, and then it is protected. So similarly, Krishna says that you should not allow your senses, if the senses want something, just go for it. They want something, go for it. Then you'll never be able to control the mind. If you understand that it is a wrong engagement of the senses, withdraw them. Don't go for it. Even if your mind is pushing for it. No, 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 it is nice, it is nice. You say, no. That is how you make the intelligence. If your intelligence is strong, the work of the intelligence is discrimination and decision. So if your intelligence is strong, then you can discriminate what is good and what is bad. And then you can withdraw your senses from wrong engagement. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, this question was asked by Arjuna in the 6th chapter that my mind is very, very turbulent, obstinate, cannot control it. How to control? Krishna says by two things. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha guhyate. In your life, follow certain rules and regulations. Abhyas and vairagya. So rules and regulations means those rules which are helping us to control our mind. And in that, association is very important. The kind of people you meet, the kind of people you associate, the kind of people you socialize with have the impact on the mind. And then it becomes very difficult to control the mind. So you should have good association. So just withdrawing the senses is not enough. We should engage the senses and the mind in the topics of God. Keep hearing about topics of God. Keep hearing about the Supreme Lord. Keep hearing the spiritual discourses, which will help us understand our life. And we should understand the meaning of life by reading thought-provoking books like Bhagavad Gita. All of you should make it a habit every day without fail, even 10 minutes. If you can't give more, I know most of you are very, very busy in your life. But if you can't give more, then at least 10 minutes a day. Take Bhagavad Gita, open the first page, start reading. Wherever you stop, put a bookmark. Next day again, start from there. And you will see how easy it becomes to control your mind. So that's why we should read, because Bhagavad Gita speaks about so many things. Like it speaks about regulated life. It says your food should be regulated, your recreation should be regulated, your sleep should be regulated, your work should be regulated, because regulated life is the key to mind control. Most of us, we are not able to have the regulated life. Do this thing at this time, this thing at this time, what is good for us, what is not good for us. We just go to internet and find something and we feel, oh, this is good for me, accept it. No, it may not be. So that's where regulated life is very important. At the same time, we should create positive impressions on the mind. How will we create positive impressions on the mind? What you see is creating impression on the mind. What you speak is creating the impression on the mind. What you eat is creating the impressions on the mind. So be very careful what you see, what you eat, whom you talk. These are all creating impressions on the mind. So we have to purify our senses by hearing discourses, by visiting temples, and honoring prasadam. And very important is chanting Lord's name. This chanting is very, very important, I'll tell you. We chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is mantra. What is the meaning of mantra? Mantra is consisting of two words, man and tra. Man means mind, tra means deliverer. So mantra means we can say a sentence, for example, or a hymn or a shloka which can deliver the mind. That is called a mantra. Like we all chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Now let me give you some few examples that those people in their life who are very, very successful, what happened when they started chanting the Maha Mantra, this mantra which we chant. So we'll see some examples. Here is a person who was when he joined as a director, he was the youngest director. 29-year-old he was at that time. This is years ago. So he says, everything started happening to me when I began chanting Hare Krishna. Then we have Albert Ford, owner of the Ford Motors, very famous person. And he says, chanting Hare Krishna has made a tremendous impact in my life. These are all people who are chanting this every day. Rishikesh Mafatlal, he is the CEO of Mafatlal Fabrics, a very, very famous and big company in India. He says, chanting Hare Krishna has helped me face all the ups and downs in my life with a great confidence and peace of mind. Here is a Dutch model. You can see her on the cover page of this magazine. And you can also see her next to that here. She's very happily chanting the holy name. She says, chanting helped me give up bad habits It changed my vision of things. So important. Now, here is a person who's master of social service program at Florida State University. He's a researcher for studying the effect of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he says Mahamantra significantly reduces stress, depression, and the mode of ignorance, and considerably increases mode of goodness. Here is a professor, associate professor of Western Kentucky University. He says, I have noticed that as chanters progress from one level to deeper level, they become more realistic, more tolerant, and more energetic. So this is chanting through which we control our mind. And what are the benefits of controlled mind? Benefits of controlled mind is clear intelligence. We have cool mind, as they say. Senses are purified, and we find a sense of peace, better concentration and memory, and we become more efficient. So that is why this lesson which we are receiving from Bhagavad Gita about mindfulness or mind control is a very, very important lesson for our life. So we should take up to these lessons when, as we hear, we should start following to see the result. What is the result of such actions? And then we will be able to very, very happily, successfully achieve things which are very rare for others to achieve in their life. Thank you very much. We will stop here for today. Before we wind up, I would like to ask if you have any questions, any comments, anything you wish to ask. I'll be happy to discuss. Today happens to be a very, very important day for all of us. It is Radhashtami, the appearance day of the eternal consort of Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani. And I'm just about to go in 5 minutes for a program which has already started. We are going to have Abhishek of the deities. We're going to have Kirtan. We're going to have Katha. I'll be speaking something about Radharani. And yes, nice prasadam. So we'll be having it here. But anyway, before that, if you have any questions or comments, if you'd like to say something, any of you, you can even write in chat box if you feel to write on that. Okay, so since nothing is there, let me tell you about Radharani a bit. She is the energy of the Lord, and she is very, very dear to the Lord. She is the one who encourages everyone to serve the Lord. It is by her mercy that we can achieve or approach the Supreme Lord. So that's why when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the word Hare refers to Srimati Radharani. Before even we chant the name of Krishna, we chant the name of Radharani, begging her mercy. What is Mahamantra? I just requested all of you that please chant mantra. I showed some of the examples how people have got benefit. And my humble request to you that those of you who wish to start chanting or improve your chanting, you can send me a message, and then we will somehow organize that how you can take up to chanting. This is my request. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what is this Mahamantra? This is just a prayer to Srimati Radharani that please engage me in Krishna's service. That is the meaning of this mantra. Simple mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today is the day to beg for mercy from Srimati Radharani that you are very dear to Krishna because of your because of your service attitude, because of your qualities. So if I can get a drop of your qualities, what you have, my life will be successful. So today is the day where we approach Srimati Radharani and request her to take us or keep us in the service of Krishna. I'm going to speak on the appearance of Radharani, how she appeared in this world. It's a wonderful story, but it'll be in Hindi. So I think most of you may not understand. Still, if you wish, we will share it in the group, the story also, so you can know more about Radharani. Thank you very much. Grateful to all of you. Again, a request, a humble request to all of you. Those of you who wish to take up to chanting, please send me a message. We will be very, very happy, honored to guide you for your for chanting the holy name.